player from Sweden. Not quite as legendary these days, but still, the legend lives on, kind of, until you go to Japan and we never see you again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna only be there for 6 months though, so it's okay.
Mate, 6 months is an eternity in esports. You're done. But I'll miss you though. I'll miss you.
Obituary has been written
and of
by
course,
Richard Lewis.
Indeed. And next to him, of course, we have got the face of FACEIT, the absolute legend that is James Bardolph. And Henry, you will notice, has been moved across to casting duties. Reason for that is Tosspot just called us from his yacht. He said, you know what, mate, Valencia's nice and all that, but I'm off to Maui with my Twitch money. So I'm not going to cast, and that's that. So Henry's been thrown in at the deep end again.
It's good, I like it. I thrive on this.
Is there anything you can't do, mate?
Well, that's it, that's what I'm saying.
10.
Bit of a, well, I don't...
So let's
Absolutely.
Let's start
Wrecked.
talking about these teams. I mean, Fnatic versus NiP. You know, it used to be back in the day in 1.6. It used to be Fnatic versus SK Gaming was El Clasico. Obviously, SK Gaming have been a bit missing in the CSGO scene. They have picked up some Danes, but it's not. They're never going to be an El Clasico, not for a while. If anything could be argued to be an El Clasico right now, Fnatic versus NiP, there's a strong argument right there. You've got so much history between the two organizations, so much talent between the two rosters. So just a few thoughts about these two teams before we introduce them.
This game is going to be really interesting. I think there's a lot of controversy surrounding both teams right now. Both teams underperforming recently, I would say. Like we saw yesterday, Fnatic dropping to TSM on Overpass. One of their best players just missing from the server completely. JW, 5 for 23, I think it was. The worst performance we've ever seen from him. Looks like the team, like the emotions were riding high. A lot of
keyboard smashing,
all that sort of thing. And this is really interesting. Like the maps, if you look at them, it kind of favors Fnatic in almost every single one. It's difficult to pick out a map when NiP has the upper hand. I think we're going to see Dust 2. I think we're going to see Inferno, but the third map I have no idea. It's going to be really interesting to see how this one goes down.
Okay, James, any thoughts to add to that?
These two teams hate losing to each other.
Yeah.
They hate losing to each other. So Fnatic are going to be seething, looking for revenge. I'd say Fnatic normally win versus NiP. They have the lion's share of the victories here, but they're coming off a loss. Revenge needs to be had. NiP have something to prove to the people out there, to themselves, and Fnatic as well. So there's a lot on the line for both of these teams, and I can't wait for it to start. And
of course, Bjorn, I mean, you've been around for so long, you know intimately these players and the history associated with both of them.
Yeah, if you just look at these teams on paper, I would heavily favor Fnatic. But due to them being both Swedish team, they all know each other. There's going to be so many mind games going on. So this is quite tough to call, but I would still say 2-0 to Fnatic.
Okay, well, we'll start introducing the teams now, and we can start talking about the individual players and whatnot. You can see here we have got Fnatic, currently the #1 team in the world, hands down. James, tell us about these boys from Sweden.
Well, they are the, without doubt, #1 team in the world. Pronex in the middle there, obviously the in-game leader, the caller for the team. Also the man who will be throwing a lot of nades for his team to go out and do considerable damage. Got Crimson, Olofmeister, obviously the ex-LGB boys. Olofmeister currently just walking in and deciding to kill people at his leisure, and it's very hard to stop. Crim's there, ready to go full cue ball in this match for his team. JW, obviously the AWPer, who wants to go around and do what he wants. Didn't have a great performance, although it is a rare one for him to do something like that, so I don't think his confidence is going to be very affected at all. And then lastly, there's Flush there, the lurker for the team, who is as dangerous as anyone else at the moment. You can see quite a nice win-loss record for them as well. So again, they know they're the best, and one loss here or there isn't going to shake their confidence too much.
No, but it's interesting that you talked about, you know, JW's entering this unknown territory. For the longest period of time, JW's been this flamboyant player, capable of excellence. That's the worst I've seen him play. Yeah, that I can think of off the top of my head.
We have to remember, though, he played extremely well versus Liquid in the game before that. So even though he had a extremely weak game versus TSM there on Overpass, I still think we can see the good old JW in this game.
Well, he's going to need to be here because he's going to be going up against these boys. It's ninjas in pajamas. Again, a team that actually, even as they plummeted down the standings from being the inarguable #1 team, and then with each sort of passing month, they've ended up falling down. They're still incredibly capable. Look at all this talent on the roster. And again, Bjorn, I'll let you introduce these guys.
First, we have Freiberg, maybe the most stable player in the team. Many people would say he's just excellent spray control. After that, we have Forrest, a player that has kind of a weak performance recently. Many players have been questioning his place in the team, actually. And then we have GetRight, maybe the players that has been playing the best CS of all these 5 players the last few weeks. And then we have the new Finnish player, Alu. I always find it funky that he's in this lineup because he doesn't speak good Swedish, which means they have to do some...
Getting better, apparently.
Oh, that's a very, very good thing then for NiP, because it becomes extremely weird when you have 4 people who have Swedish as their native language and 1 Finn. And last but not least, we have EIZO, who actually stepped up extremely well individually this past few weeks. So I actually think EIZO might be one of the most dangerous players for NiP in this game.
Well, I mean, it's got to be said, you highlighted GetRight as a jewel in the crown. It's really disgusting, actually, how good GetRight is and for how long he's been as good as he is. It's incredible. Just one of the greatest players of all time. No argument about that. And yet he finds himself in this weird position of he's always performing. Like, he's never been the problem. Yet his teammates seem to take it in turns to let NiP down.
We saw that at Gfinity as well. Like, even when they were getting absolutely trashed by Envious, like, he was the one pushing 20 frags quite easily as well.
Always.
He was the one like getting 2 frags every time, and they just couldn't close out the rounds. It was really unfortunate for them. But here we go. Here are the maps. This is going to be the most interesting part of the whole thing.
Here we go. This is where these mind games start coming in. So let's have a look. You can see we've got Fnatic banned out Cash as number 1, and NiP removed Cobblestone as number 1. I think that's fair enough. Fnatic are amazing on that map. Then the picks, we had Fnatic took Mirage, and NiP took Train. So NiP have been leaning towards Train lately, but they did play a few maps on Train. It hasn't exactly been plain sailing for them.
Yeah, I wonder if them picking Train is kind of an act of desperation, because they know they're the underdog in this match, and Train will make it a bit more random.
Train was the first pick as well. That will be the first map with Mirage as the second.
And then, of course, you can see from the other bans, Inferno removed by Fnatic, which is incredible, really, when you consider the win rate they've got on that map. Still in the high 70s. It's a map that used to be argued, you know, it was their best map. That's been removed. NiP took out Overpass, so that means a Dust 2 decider. Really interesting, because Fnatic is just solid on Dust 2, as you'd expect. A JW's Playground, you know, all that good stuff going on. But then on top of that, NiP, who were not great on Dust 2, but they've been playing lots of it recently, and they've been winning on it. So, a great, tantalizing series. James, I'll get your thoughts.
And again, I don't think JW's performance on Overpass against TSM is too worrisome, because it's not the greatest map for an AWPer to really excel. However, a lot of these maps are. Train, obviously, you've got all the sites for AWPers on that map. Dust 2, even more so, and Mirage as well. So I think there's a good selection of maps here for JW to show who he is.
So the players are getting ready. They're getting all set to go. Time to start nailing down predictions. Just for a change, I'll start with you and work the way across to Henry. So, Bjorn, how do you see this one going?
I'm going to say 2-0 for Fnatic. Maybe NiP can make it a close game on Train, but they're going to get crushed from Mirage, I think.
Okay.
For me, I think Train could go either way, because there can be a lot of situations in the middle of rounds where somebody pops out and finds 2 people to kill with their backs turned. So who knows what kind of variance and who that will favor. But you can't bet against Fnatic. They're the best team in the world. They dominate NiP more often than not. So I'll say Fnatic by 2-0 or maybe 2-1 if NiP manage to take Train.
Henry?
I think this all depends on what NiP turn up. The fact we saw them play Liquid earlier and they had that such aggressive play style, they seemed like they had no fear of the opponents whatsoever. It's going to be really important. This is the Swedish derby. We know they know each other so well, and it's going to be interesting to see like what kind of mind games are going on. As I said before, I think the maps, every single one, does favor Fnatic in some way. I'm going to say 2-0 Fnatic, but I do think anything could happen. Like, it's going to be very close games. I wouldn't be surprised if overtime came to play.
Well, you're absolutely right, boys. Anything can happen. Without any further ado, we need to start and see what those anythings, what those permutations could be. It's going to be cast ably by James Bardolph and Henry G. Me and Threat are going to go and watch from a wonderful vantage point. Don't want to miss a second of this one. We know you don't either, so without any further ado, let's get into the game. Take it away, boys.
All right, so
Now then.
Train will be our first map. Curious to see who's going to start on the CT and T side, respectively. Again, we're seeing evolving executions on this map.
Well, this is really interesting. So NiP they have these executions, they have a lot of strats in this map, but in previous games, we've only really seen them pull them out on the actual eco rounds. Like, that's when they only seem to actually execute them. Like, when they're trying to get the bomb down, that's when they put it out. So I'd like to see them do a lot more set pieces on their actual gun rounds.
All right, so it's going to be Fnatic starting on the CT side. We have the initial smokes coming down, blocking off the connector area, denying vision, but NiP with numbers and the bomb heading over towards the B site. And those smokes have left 4 people for Fnatic over towards A. One pushing into team main as we have a rotation into Pop Dog. First frag going the way of Fnatic, Olofmeister taking down Freiburg, but they can't stop the bomb from going down. Now it's just going to be about dueling as we see who's going to take the advantage. Fnatic taking 3 with no return yet from NiP. Just Forest and Alu. Just Alu now to try and stop things, but there are so many guns for him to face at the same time. It's not going to happen. Not a single frag there in the pistol round for NiP.
So NiP sticking to the meta there, just rushing inside. It seems like almost every map these days, most teams will opt up for the armor inside B rush. And they got the bomb down. That's kind of mission successful in a way. They have the option now to do the force buy with the Tech 9s and armor. In my opinion, not so effective on train, but I'd hope they'd save it for AKs and buy them next round.
You are not a fan of pistol rounds, are you?
I really am not. I feel like it's got to a stage in CSGO where it's got kind of stale and you see the same tactics being brought out every single time. The objective is just to get in and hope for the best. As long as you get the bomb down, we know how strong the pistols are and they can kind of rely on that. And this is the set piece I was talking about from NiP, by the way. They only seem to pull these out when they want to get the bomb down on their eco rounds. And I was speaking to Fifth Laren before the game, and he's saying like he actually recommended to them they need to start doing this more on their gun rounds to actually make these effective.
Yeah, so you can see NiP going for the eco here. The purpose is to get that 6k in the bank by getting the second bomb plant down, and indeed they will do exactly that. And Fnatic playing for the safer approach, the retake here, not wanting to go for any unnecessary risks through these smokes. First frag will go their way. Now it's just about if NiP can get any bonus damage, and again the priority was to get the bomb down, and indeed they did. I think we might have the defuse coming in already as only Alu remains here, so he'll try to avoid the Bison as it does have a bigger bonus. Indeed, he'll get taken down by the pistol of JW. So the objective has been achieved here for NiP.
It'll be interesting to see what actually Fnatic, how they react to it. They know the AKs are coming. They had a couple of SMGs there. Will they be upgrading, or were they trying to force the round out with the P90s and the Bison, I think we saw there? This is going to be one of the most defining rounds of the game to see what NiP brings to the battle, where they go something very fast. We know they do a very nice outside take very quickly, but this is it. It'll be a very important round indeed.
So we've got the 5 AKs, loads of Molotovs and other various nades here for NiP. The timing on the flash in case there's a push-up B slope from the CTs, and these smokes continue as Henry was referring to, but is it going to be real or fake here from NiP? It seems that they are going to commit to the push. Olofmeister in a boost spot. Well, he's high anyway. And he's going to find a frag onto Freiburg. He has been practicing on roofs around Sweden, and it will pay off for now. 4v4 retake will be in place here for Fnatic. Frags coming in for both sides. Down to 3 versus 3. Crimson Flusher with kits, but the numbers are dwindling for NiP. Going to even things up once more, but Ali will be left versus 2. Crimson Pronax with lots of health, and there will be an angle to hold here. Pronax finding the defuse, and it'll be 3-0 for Fnatic.
Really, really important round for Fnatic there. Like I said, they didn't lose a man in the anti-eco. They actually upgraded the rifles. Flusher keeping his P90 there. In fact, he's picking up 2 frags as he normally does. Fantastic work from him. NiP getting the bomb down again. The money situation is going to be okay here. You can see an AK save Malu. I'd imagine they're going to be forcing out the Tech 9s and armor. Like I said before, they did set piece there. I think they were hoping for more to come of that, but as we said, that JW has got the AWP in hand, and now this will be another case of trying to get the bomb down. It's very difficult to win these rounds with the Tech 9s.
So far, so good for the #1 side. We've got a few people going towards Ivy for NiP, while the bomb is headed towards B, so they may try and run distraction. AK has been picked up as Alu's gone down, so it'll be Get Right holding things for the time being, running shenanigans. He's moving away from Ivy as NiP look to push into B. However, there are 3 CTs already in position. They've got that connector smoke down, which will allow them to move to the site. But can they get the bomb down? That's the beginning here for NiP. Olofmeister with a great angle is going to find Exist and Freiburg, looking for a third, trying to stop that plant from going down, but the plant will be successful. But that might be all NiP get in this round. Prim's going down to Get Right, actually, so maybe can get some more damage in here. That will be that, as the P250 will come in for JW, and that will be another clean sheet for Fnatic.
So NiP getting the bomb down every single round here, but it's almost too radioed out. It's too obvious what they're doing. So getting the bomb down every single time is good for your economy. If you're not like clutching these rounds out, making it quite easy for CTs, it's almost throwaway in a way. So I'd like to see them do some more fakes here. A dual AWP setup now for NiP, quite interesting. A change of pace. They got to slow things right down now. See where the picks are going to be available. I'd assume they're going to take one towards side alley and maybe one out towards main, but this is the point where they need to start getting some rounds on the board.
Well, one's headed maybe towards Pop Dog, maybe towards B, or Alu will hold things down here in teammate. Indeed, Forest going towards Pop Dog with the second one, but immediately smoked off. He will be rendered useless for a while. We'll see if anything else can be done here from NiP. Still lots of time on the clock for them to do something with. They are spread all over the map at the moment, some between Pop, some over towards B, and I think Get Right's joining the lurk over towards Ivy. As there will be one CT in that direction, 2 CTs in connector, so there's a quick rotation in either direction, and 2 over towards B, leaving a third player over towards connector. You can see JW looking for a potential boost here. You can, from the back, boost the second tee up, and JW is ready and waiting. That might not come in for NiP just yet. Again, NiP 4 rounds down, nothing on the board just yet.
Well, they've got 4 smokes in hand still, so potentially going to do another execute here, but it's going to be very difficult to actually make that work for them. Like, they're not getting the picks right now, these AWPs. It's very difficult to actually execute onto a bomb site and reclaim it.
Forest gets taken down, and Olofmeister will spot 2 coming into the A site, which will mean a 4-man presence here from Fnatic, and it's going well so far. Only Exist remains with a Consolation Frag coming in with a second. Looking to get himself another 1v1, but it will be a double peak. Olofmeister finishing things off, and Fnatic will continue the clean sheets.
So this is a problem for NiP. So we see them adopt this play style versus the lower teams, and it works very well for them. They're able to get the picks and out-aim most of the players. But when they're not given those picks on the start of the round, it's very difficult for them to execute into anything after that. So 2 AWPs then really didn't do much from the tool, not a single pick made. They were forced to go out to a bomb site, got completely taken down with the crossfires, and that is just a classic example of how you should be playing CT, not giving the Ts any sort of input whatsoever. You're making them come out and forcing them to play. And we can see yet again this set piece. We've seen them do so many times. I'd like to see them do a fake of this. Like, it's so obvious what they're doing now, trying to get the bomb down. They need to mix it up a little bit.
Indeed, but the bomb is going to be headed towards team main with numbers in support. This time Olofmeister going aggressive. This is a map where he feels like he can do whatever he wants, and that's exactly what he's doing. 2 frags so far. Forest and Alu going down. Exist will join them in the shallow graves. Plant coming in. Olofmeister can't find the angle in time, but one tap through the smoke will find Freiberg, and Fnatic survive again, this time with 4 players.
And NiP really are getting the bomb down every time, but again, it's so obvious. Like, the smoke's coming over. It seems like that's one of the few strats they have on this map, and they are really relying on getting these picks. And in your opinion, so I'm saying they need to start doing fakes. I actually think they need to do something a bit faster now. I think they need to not do the smokes outside, do what kind of the envious style of running out main very quickly and working on the frags, and like relying on the entry ability we know Freiberg has, and that's what they need to do. The money is fine right now. They've got the loss bonus on their side, so buying full sets of AKs and utility is not going to be a problem.
Yeah, while these plants are being successful, it seems that maybe they're trying to tweak things a little bit here and there to try and make them more successful, but at the same time, Fnatic are varying their aggression in these retakes. Olofmeister pushing all the way there. JW will find a tag, but no frag just yet. Follow-up, but grenade will do the job. Get Right has left the building. You can see Forest and Exist heavily tagged at the moment. There's only Flushers taking damage on the Fnatic side. So NiP walking on crutches in this round so far, and we might not see a bomb plant, although it's still early days, over a minute on the clock. Bomb near the Pop Dog area, options open. You can see Alu holding a passive angle towards team main at the moment in case there's going to be any trademark aggression from Fnatic, but there's no push through Ivy, no push through team main, no push from B at the moment. They are holding steadfastly. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Absolutely. Like, this is the point where NiP, like, they look kind of lost, not really sure what they need to do here. Like, if Fnatic keep this hold up, it's going to be very difficult to get into the bomb site. Like, I don't really know what their options are here. Let's just going out one by one. Forest does manage to pick up a frag there, but this round's going to get shut down pretty easily once again.
Let's not forget this was the pick of NiP, and currently facing a 6-0 deficit. Maybe they'll be more comfortable on the CT side. However, they will need T rounds in order to mount an offense. That flash has surely not gone to plan.
I'm pretty sure what the plan was there.
Yeah. 10 seconds remain here. NiP, they've taken 2 players down, and indeed the bomb plant will come in time, just in time, as Alu gets blasted into space. Maybe Voyager 1 will pick him up a bit later on. Freiberg versus 2 now as he takes down Pronax, dancing around the train, trying to find a 1v1 in either direction. We'll see Olofmeister, but Olofmeister will find yet another frag. He is really racking them up already. in this match.
So James, as a man who casts Fnatic quite a lot, what would you suggest to NiP right now? Where would you say they're going? Where are they going wrong? Where can they exploit this setup?
It's a difficult one because even like looking at their success on the A bomb site with getting the plant in all the smokes again.
But it's like it's to no avail whatsoever.
The nature of train is variance. You never know who's going to push a smoke away, and that does work both ways. But I don't know. Again, this was the pick of NiP, and let's see if they have more variation. Maybe some executes over towards the B bomb site. JW playing the AWP now like it's a Mag 7. We've seen this before, but this time he's going to get dinked. He's going to fire the shot, and he is not going to leave the area. So worth noting that you can wallbang through that corrugated iron as Forrest was doing, but it will not deter the likes of JW. And again, you saw that on Overpass, despite his failure in terms of frags and so on.
Yeah.
He is arrogant enough, which is a good thing, that he's not going to say, oh, this isn't working out, maybe I should play differently. Like he's going to force the issue.
Yeah, you got to rely on your ability. You can't be scared. Like even if you're having a bad game, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm not playing good enough to do that situation." And you see him all the time pushing, getting cheeky frags, and that's the kind of team this works so well against. If you can push NiP and lock the first player out at the beginning of the round, that's when they look a little bit lost on map side train. So far, what we've seen from them has just been a lot of outside executes, getting the bomb down, and not a lot more than that.
NiP going slower now. 40 seconds on the clock. As they finally commit, this time it's going to be the A site once more. JW looking for a frag. He's going to move before taking the shot and find no connection. Plant coming in for the smoke once more, but this time NiP have a very different setup here, very advanced positions. Forrest trying to find, but here comes a variance, frags for either side, but they're going the way of Fnatic. Alu and GetRight left versus 3. Again, one person in a position could get 2 frags, and that could change everything, but GetRight can't find a frag first onto Crims. That could have been what got them their first round, but now it's left down to Alu. Headshot onto Flusher. Yeah. And Fnatic will continue 8-0.
That position from GetRight was so advantageous. Like he was trying to play that lurker role perfectly, letting people, not giving away his position, letting them run around. Like the fact Crims killed him, a little bit disappointing there. That could have been the first round on the board. But that's going to take us to 8-0. And I really do think a change of pace is needed here. Start going fast. Experiment with inside more, I feel. Like, you can get in there quickly, like you did on the pistol, get in there, get the bomb down, push a clutch situation. That now it seems to be like the same thing almost every single round. I'd like to see a change of pace, faster strat. It looks like they may be opting for something like that now. Different approach right now.
Yeah, and I've seen some seriously crazy executes from other teams on this map, which I don't know if they've been seen in competitive play yet, so I won't name exactly who for their own purposes, but I know that interesting things are definitely possible. Now look at the aggression here from Fnatic, forcing the issue. JW coming in as he always does. Damage taken by both players, but that's going to be that. So NiP charging in, but JW just standing on a ladder for now. We'll see if he comes into play a bit later on. NiP having success getting these bombs down, but it just needs to change the way they position themselves as and after the bomb goes down. Flusher, only one left, and I think we're going to see NiP's first round on the board. So much money for Fnatic that Flusher can try and do some economical damage here to the NiP side.
Any kills you can pick up are going to be valuable. But this is a very important state now of the game. If NiP lose the round after this, they're going to be in a dire situation. They lose the loss bonus they built up over the last 4 rounds, and now it's going to be difficult for them. Like that round was just down to fragging. Like they used their players in the best possible way, getting out there, making the first pick, and this is where the game gets interesting.
Right. Can NiP muster up any momentum? Despite the score, despite the fact it is 7-1 in favor of Fnatic. We've seen these situations before where there's been a massive deficit, but with 6 rounds left, 7 rounds left, they could still get all the way right back into this game.
Yeah,
easier, 8-1, okay, so 6 rounds left. They could get back into this game. They could make it 8-7. Easier said than done, especially on a map like Train against a team like Fnatic. You've got some timing nades coming in, but Alu has a superior angle and will take no damage. JW's been tagged down to 8 HP, and he will have to be more passive for now. Football Terrier may be turned into a Chihuahua.
Okay, like you see Alu now working the pick game again. They know they've legged JW here, so he's going to be pushed back to a much more passive position, as you said. But by the looks of things, NiP will be forced just to go to that outside setup again. They've got the smokes in hand. Getting the bomb down and working the pick seemed to work for them last round, but it seems a bit of a 50-50 situation. They really are relying on getting those entry frags.
Right, so Freiburg suggesting that maybe it's going to be a push towards B. And that smoke is something you've seen in various iterations of Train in CSGO and other ones as well, just smoking it down to connector to stop the sight from that common rotation for the CTs, but it is going to be the A play, leaving 3 Fnatic players stuck in the connector area. Let's see if they can do anything with it. Crims in the upper spot here to try and stop any plants from coming in and have vision over these smokes that NiP continue to put down, but NiP finding the frags, man advantage again. JW still tagged, but all he needs is one click of that gun to take down some of these players. Speaking of which, Alu gonna AWP Pronax elsewhere. 4 versus 2 now, and Fnatic must consider saving. You can see the money, JW just on $1,200, so he needs to make an exit. He needs to depart far away from the bomb. As with only 8 HP, that blast radius could prove lethal. And that could have been lethal as well.
Exactly.
Flusher was crouching, he was almost going to pull the trigger there.
The key difference in that round was they did a very similar round, a very similar outside take, but they got the Molotov on top of the bomb train. That's a position Fnatic favor, and actually force them out, and they managed to pick up that really key frag there. And that's, like I said before, it's a very important round. The fact they won the round before, they didn't get their money reset, they can build some momentum here, and we can see the money in Fnatic it's good, it's like a full buy, and the duo AWP now. That allows them to control the inside bomb site completely. They can play one person in there.
He fired a shot. He actually fired a shot. He almost shot him in the head. He's like, no, your time is over. But I presume he was still moving. That's the only reason JW has a shiny Dragon Lore. The only reason. So NiP with some momentum. Fnatic changing their approach. Double AWPs coming out now. Olafmeister playing a boosted position in connector. Does love a good boost. Like we love a good sausage and mash.
Some more than others.
6-round deficit for the NiP side to deal with here. If they can break Fnatic in this round, then who knows how many they can get, although ecos will still be dangerous with CZs and 5-7s in play. Slow start from NiP. Maybe wondering if Fnatic are on the eco.
I think they're just trying to feel out the map right now and see what kind of setup Fnatic have opted for. I like the dual AWP setup. I think it's going to put them in really good stead. That's what I said before, on the inside bomb site allows you to hold one person.
Got to cut you off there. Pronax has pushed through the smoke, left on Ivy, and he might catch a few plays in T-spawn here. Indeed, he's going to have an exchange and be left on 18 HP. Going to try and flash himself out now after finding a bit of information. Had Flusher coming in for support, but it won't be required, and he will make an escape. 35 seconds left here as the bomb is still around the T main area, and NiP are yet to commit to a site. Moving into the A site now as Exist offers a crossfire for his teammates, moving towards the electric box. JW with a snap, but he won't find any frags. Exist to open things up, and Ali will follow up on JW as well. So the momentum continues, but will it last? Crim's going for a shot through the smoke there, and Fnatic seems they will try and opt to save 3 weapons, but it may only be 2 as Flusher gets eliminated by Freiburg.
So we were at 8-0, and then all of a sudden, it seems like NiP have woken up, kind of assessed what was going on, and take 3 in a row. They didn't even drop a player that time. So great stuff on them. It seems like Fnatic are being a little bit too aggressive for my liking, like pushing Ivy. Like you're getting information, but he got tagged straight away and had to fall back, and it's put them in a very difficult situation. So yeah, NiP hunting now. They'll be really keen to get Crims here at the end. They know his position. If they can take him down, it'll be great for the economy game.
And indeed they will. That is a wipeout of the Fnatic funds. Bank of Fnatic has been broken, and the pieces are all over the floor.
All of a sudden, NiP are back in this. Like they seem so far removed from the map at the beginning, but we can see JW pulling out the Mag 7. The CZs will be coming out, but this is a round you kind of hope NiP won. If they didn't get this one, they'd be very disappointed in themselves. I think if they just keep up the slow gameplay, work out where the stacks are going to be, they can just put this one to bed quite easily.
NiP have 4 Molotovs in the back here, so they know that they're going to have to do a bit of clearing. But the thing is, there are so many tricky corners here that it's going to be hard for, say, one of them to throw a Molotov while they're being covered by a teammate. And when you prime the Molotov before throwing it, you can hear the flames as well, so it might be a bait for Fnatic to do something with. They've found a gun and found some frags and a man advantage here, so things not working out for NiP. And we've seen them in weird situations on anti-ecos. Yesterday we saw them rush out Mirage and just get completely wiped out when they had the buy. That
might have worked better for them in this situation. It seems like Fnatic were pushing like they have been most rounds and finding those frags, and now it's going to be the clock ticking away. Ali with the AWP here, he's kind of in a difficult situation. 2 players towards side Ali, and they're going to have to sneak out here and see what kind of frags they can do. As long as Fnatic play passively, just get the information and fall back and make them force a plant, this could be around Fnatic have a very good chance of winning. Yeah, and Forrest is going to peek with only 21 HP, so unless he gets the first shot off, that's a very nice shoulder peek there, and manages to avoid JW's fire and come back for the frag. But now he's got to look at where a trade fragger might be, and he's about to find one. Gets the frag as well, surviving with 1 pixel of life, 3 versus 2, but there are 25 seconds left on the clock, and they need to discern where Fnatic aren't
and get the bomb down. You can see Crims, he doesn't just cover team main, but he covers a lot of where the bomb can go down here. And if his teammate can combine with him, then this could spell trouble for NiP. The bomb does finally go down. So we have olofmeister with a PC-50 and Crims with a Mag 7 to try and do what they can, if anything. And we're going to have a smoke off. I think it's time to try and save a weapon here as olofmeister comes into, sorry, Crims comes in to try and cause some shenanigans. olofmeister has little to nothing to lose, and there are weapons strewn across the map. See if he can find one.
I think this will be a case of them trying to get a couple of kills before it ends, like sneaking in now, seeing what kind of exits he can get. But for me, that the Fnatic almost gave that one away. As I said before, when they were in those positions, they knew the T to the plant. Bomb was ticking away. He was in a position there where he had nowhere to fall back.
olofmeister saves an AWP.
Did he really? Oh, I missed that.
He did. Very pricey stuff.
Blabbering on.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, Fnatic could have won that one. If they played a bit more defensive positions, given themselves a chance to fall back. Could have been, this was the key frag for me. Like this position here, he played to the right and been able to fall back towards the CT spawn area. He may have survived and run the clock down. We saw the bomb going down at 10 seconds. Again, they could have had the crossfire in those two positions. That would have worked really well for them. But
Flusher actually popped off the first shot before Forrest even fired. It's very unlucky to leave him with 1 HP there. But there it is, from 8-0 to 8-4 here. NiP clawing things back, but that AWP will be a very nice boost for Fnatic as they come in here, trying to crawl into the site. Very nice run past the angle there, and Flusher doesn't get a single frag. JW takes down exists, however, but they know where the bomb is going down. Again, can NiP continue these post-plant holes there? JW going to get hit in the face with a grenade, but he's still going to survive. 4 versus 4 continues as both sides taking pot shots through the smoke. Forrest finds the angle onto Crims, and there's a flank for Fnatic to worry about as well. Do they continue to push, or do they go for the save here? JW will go down, Freiberg bouncing off the ladder. Very nice parkour by him. olofmeister will get 1 consolation frag. He will be traded by Alu.
This is actually really nice from NiP now. I was saying before the problem with the set pieces they were doing, it was just too obvious. There was no fake there at all. If you actually walk into the inside bomb site without actually giving anything away, you don't throw any sort of utility down, you give yourself that opportunity. Like we saw Flusher not even making 1 single frag there. That sort of situation is so advantageous to the Ts, and that's a really good reactive play from them. They've learned their lesson from the earlier rounds, and there's that 5 in a row now for NiP. That's fantastic. After going 8-0 down, what a turn of events.
Exactly. Never count a team out, especially when you are halfway through a half, whether they have 1 round or 0. Now, that is a good start here for JW. I thought he was going to go for a boost. They've gone for an insane aggression. That could have been a 2-man spray down, but it will only be the 1. Fnatic going aggressive all over the place, and the bomb has been lost here. They're trying to overwhelm NiP. They're trying to not give NiP the time to think or call, and it will reward them in a 3 versus 2, but this could easily spin around if they lose control of the bomb. olofmeister are going to make it. Only Freiberg left. However, he has a minute on the clock to work with.
Great mind games coming in from both teams here, changing their stance almost every single round. We saw NiP changing their mentality completely last round, and then Fnatic there just completely pushing straight away, locking the round down before it even started. Freiberg left here. He has got time. The bomber's going to be down in a difficult area here, and if he gets this frag, this could be competitive. He could do something with this.
Freiberg dancing well before he even found that engagement. He put himself towards electric box after the initial shots because he does not want to be taken up by a trade fragger. Going to smoke off 1 player who's been spotted. 34 seconds left on the clock. Very nice movement there to avoid any pre-aim headshots, just bouncing, gliding off the ladder. Bomb has been collected. We'll see where he chooses to go. You've got people climbing over all the ladders like it's a Krypton factor here, but there's only 2 Fnatic players remaining, and maybe Freiberg can position himself to get himself a 1 versus 1, but he's running out of time to kill 1 player and plant. He really needs to find both. 10 seconds on the clock now, and there's no way this bomb is going down. He jumps up, he's going to find the first frag. Can he find a second? He's going to get taken out by olofmeister. That could have gone either way, but it'll be Fnatic to move to 9 rounds.
Yeah, I think that was the best decision he could have made. Like you said, he had 2 players to kill. They kind of knew where he had to go. Bomb was down in a difficult position. Went for the frags, could have gone either way, and it was a great effort from him. And luckily, he's not going to be able to convert it into a victory. 5 rounds on the board for NiP, though. That's actually a pretty stable half from them. We know their CT's good, and the fact that Fnatic on a very forced buy here, this could be another round on the board for NiP. 2 Mag 7s, JW and Flusher. I don't really know how they're going to utilize them properly. Flusher going towards inside. I would say that Alu takes down JW, and that's a very valuable frag indeed.
Indeed, Flusher and JW, both adepts at using these Mag 7s, however, less than ideal. Important frag for Pronax coming in as olofmeister forces the issue here, coming into the electric box. Trades for both sides. 4 versus 3 versus 2 now for Fnatic, losing the spray down to Get Right. But meanwhile, people are dying elsewhere. Get Right gets traded. It's just down to Alu. He's going to get taken up by the Mag 7 straight to the chest there. 10-5 in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, not a bad half for either team. I think they'll both be not over the moon about it, but like they know they can work with it. Pistol next round obviously could be very important indeed. I'm just so glad that NiP bounced back from that. We've seen them before getting those kind of ruts, and like it almost looked like they had no response to it whatsoever. They changed their gameplay, worked on the picks, which we know they're so good at, and managed to get 5 rounds on the board after that 8-0 deficit. So very well played from them. Good reactive play. My favorite round was when they changed it up completely and walked inside. That was a really nice response from them. So the pistol round. We saw NiP rush inside last round. 5 men is going in there. Very simple. We see most teams do that. Do you think Fnatic will do the same thing?
One can only imagine what they have up their sleeve. The important thing is, NiP will need more than 0 frags on this half.
That's true.
On this pistol round. So we'll see who gets the first advantage. Fnatic into A quickly, which can be information for the team. Olofmeister may try and might try and find out what exactly is the play here from NiP. He'll see 2 people towards Ivy and think one of them in the head again from that range. Glock will not be a one-shot death in a pistol round, whereas the USP just might. However, where are the rest of the CTs? That's the question here. Olofmeister doing the fact finding as the team move in elsewhere. There are 3 NiP players over towards the connector area, yet they will find the first frag. Alu taking down Flusher. We've got rotations now from Popdog into the A sites, but NiP still well positioned to try and stop a plant from coming in here. Exists getting another frag for his team, and there's only 2 Fnatic players left now. Pronex and Olofmeister need to find frags, need to find plants. Pronex going to take down Freiberg, and there's going to be a team grenade, but NiP will win the round regardless.
Yeah, this is the problem with these slow pistol plays. Once you lose the first frag, you kind of have to bail out the inside site. What they did there, they had Olofmeister getting information outside. He was able to give a call off that the rotations had happened. Unfortunately for them, it was too little too late. NiP picking up some very nice frags here, and that's exactly what they needed to get back into this. You can see them opting for rifles here. They have got 3 rifles. They've got the P90 as well, which you know is very strong, but a full force buy from Fnatic. This round is going to be crazy. We know how strong Fnatic are on these.
Indeed, so that smoke is not... Actually, is that deliberate? There's a 50-50 chance that could be a stylish smoke for Popdog, who knows, but NiP have 2 HEs in the bag. Other than that, they've only got the guns to try and stop this advance. Fnatic going to be looking to close the distance with these Tech 9s and CZs. They have 1 smoke in the bag, a flash into Pronex as well, and then the HE onto Flusher. Freiberg going to get some damage in down the Ivy area, but no frags for either side yet exist. We'll be salivating, waiting for some targets with that dirty P90.
I'm not sure how much of a fan I am of this force buy. With only 1 smoke to play with, it's very difficult to lock off all the choke points Train has to offer. NiP definitely have the advantage of this one. We can see an X2 coming in here. Pronax giving the distraction, and this next frag to be very important. JW taking out Exist, and now they have a look into the round.
More dancing off the ladder, and Fnatic will find the superior angles. Flusher taking 2 frags with 1 magazine of that CZ. Alu going to take down Olofmeister with the MP7. That's going to stop the bomb plant for now, but there's 30 seconds left on the clock. However, JW only has 2 HP. Versus the 8 of Alu, next hit wins, and JW will take the round for his team.
God, you can never count Fnatic out of those rounds, can you? Like, even when it looks like there's no chance whatsoever, they find it out of nowhere, and fantastic work from them. Very important round indeed. Like, that's going to knock NiP onto a full eco now, and this frag is so important. Like, he seems to do such fantastic work with the CZ.
Yeah, and that's the variance I'm talking about that can happen on this map. 1 player gets 2 frags coming in from an unsuspected position, and everything gets turned on its head. So, Fnatic going to continue with their swag. NiP going for a double scout play on Train, which is interesting. Losing 1 already. And they have no frags in return. So the push continues here from NiP. They will get a frag onto Flusher, but JW is lying in wait with Crimson support. He's going to find a Tech 9 kill, leaving only Alu and Exist remaining. Versus 4. They have Kevlar as well. We'll see what else they can do. Stuck on the B bomb site they are, as JW is just hanging around looking for more people to frag, more AWP cash to make.
It's very difficult to save these guns as well. Most maps you'd be saying, oh, we could probably save the armor and the scout, but on this kind of map it's so easy to be hunted down. They're going to have to try and do something here. Alu gets taken down. It's just going to leave Exist now. He has got armor, but he should be taken care of pretty swiftly. 12-6 now in favor of Fnatic. The economy is going to be really interesting here. We saw a force buy from NiP this round, and now they're left with absolutely nothing. They got 1900 across the board, and they can't even afford to get the PT50s out, really. They have to do a full eco now, and that's going to put Fnatic on the 13th round. As long as nothing crazy happens, this is going to put them very close to match point.
Indeed, maybe Fnatic have an insurmountable lead. They have double the score of NiP at the moment, and NiP are on the eco, so things should extend. We've got a few
Nice.
guns here and there across the map. You can see Fnatic evenly spread out, making sure there's no flank coming in from these NiP players. And as they start to identify exactly where they are, the net may close in on the remaining NiP players. Just Alu and Exist. Just Alu now, as Fnatic cruise to round 13 in the bag.
Almost a throwaway round there. Like, these players know the economy system just as well as we do. They saw the force buy last round. They knew they had next to nothing to play with there. So play it slow, work the picks with the AKs, and job done. Perfect round from them. And this could be very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a change of play here from NiP. I'd like to see them do something a bit more aggressive. They need to be doing what they normally do on maps like Dust 2, going for an inside pick perhaps with the AWP, mixing it up, a bit of surprise instead of waiting for the T's to come to them. They need to get back in there, let's get the momentum back on their side.
Okay, so 13-6, NiP back on the buy. No AWPs, no helmets either, which will matter a bit for the FAMAS and the Mag 7. However, two very fast frags coming in for NiP. Crims and Pronax have been wiped off the map. So just Olofmeister, JW and Flusher to try and do things. Bomb is down near the electric box as well. There goes another Fnatic player. Olofmeister and JW remain with limited equipment. JW will need to find range or find a rifle. He's just holding the corner at the moment, looking at the top of the train. Forest with a bit of a passive position. May see him come through the smoke. Got to be careful though. This could go either way if JW continues. There we go. He's going to come up the ladder and find the frag. But that will be all she wrote, as Freiburg will find a trade.
Yeah, they went for a very fast round there, the surprise play. You can see how much money they've got to play with here. Like, it was a throwaway round. They wanted to see whether they could surprise the CTs. They knew the money wasn't great there, no AWPs in play. Now we have the dual AWP setup. We saw NiP run this as well on T side. Like, it'll be interesting to see what Fnatic do with it. Like, we know they potentially got better AWPers across the board. So whether we see them do a much slower style of play or they'll be just going all guns blazing. Looks like JW wants blood.
Okay, so he's going to go for that connector peak, which is actually more favorable to the CTs because they do get there first. However, I'm sure he's banking on AWP lacking. Or maybe he just doesn't care. 50-50. Anyway, we'll see where Olofmeister opts to point his AWP a bit later on. And I have no idea what just happened. Well.
Okay. I assume there's been a technical issue and they've had to restart from the log files. I'm sure we'll get some information on that.
That's
soon.
the fastest restore I've ever seen in my entire life. Shout outs to whatever made that happen. Who knows?
Whoever.
Shout outs to the gods, to the CS gods.
I didn't even see any chat going back.
Okay, so I have no idea what just happened, but we're back. Olofmeister and JW continue on the AWPs. Have one player over towards B for NiP. Going to be unchallenged for now. Players over towards Pop for Fnatic. We'll see if it gets smoked off. Moving towards B now. Quite curious as to where they're going to look for the entry. So that's the Ivy pick that they would like to have, but JW will be the first to go down. So the AWPs have been halved here. And GetRight's going for the angle, finding it onto Flusher. Some might say he was flushed out. I apologize. 3 Fnatic players remaining now, and they're spread out, so there won't be any trades anytime soon, should they find any exchanges. CT side looking strong, but Pronax sends Forest flying insta-trade by Freiburg. 2-1 Fnatic player remaining. It's just Olofmeister with the AWP, so the double AWP, they haven't even really had a chance to get it going.
We missed the first frag there. They're taking down the first AWP for Fnatic. I'll be interested to see how that went down. Money's still good for them, just trying to work out. They can force a buy here. They have to be full AKs by the looks of things. Olofmeister is considering dropping perhaps. But as we say that, NiP opting for their classic dual AWP setup. I think it's when they're at their absolute strongest. Exist though with the AWP. That's kind of new. We see him auto snipe sometimes. We don't really see him pick up an AWP that often.
Well, he's going to go for the boost, and they're going to have a double connector peak. Again, it's a bit delayed, but Alu's angle peeking first will be the surprise, but there'll be no one to engage there, as Fnatic have 3 people, including the bomb, towards long, and Threat would say that you never send the bomb down long, because then it shows that you're going for an A push here, because the rotate is so long. But there is a smoke, so who knows when NiP will find out this information. They're pushing now. Now they've seen the bomb on the radar, and that will be... actually, there won't be a rotation from NiP just yet. They'll still leave a player over towards B, but they won't need him, as they find 3 very fast frags, leaving JW and Flusher, and the bomb completely isolated with no friends, just surrounded by bullies.
Yeah, it's interesting rounds for Fnatic here. Like, they haven't really impressed me so far, their approach to the rounds. Going for a lot of picks, and it doesn't seem to be working for them. I'd like to see them just go for the more classic, execute outside, work the bomb going down. Like, that's the best situation you can get into on Drain. You put the pressure onto the CTs at that point. It is a 2-on-5 situation now, but this is essentially a save for them now.
Indeed, Flames coming in towards Pop Dog, looking for a grilled flusher. He's still alive, his teammate's gone down. He'll get a consolation frag onto Get Right, but that will be his lot. NiP continue to close the gap.
Absolutely. As I said before, Exist, uncommon for him to pick up an AWP, but he made it work. He picked up a frag last round, and I guess what they're trying to do is just keep things dynamic, keep things unpredictable. Fnatic trying to fill out the map as much as they can and getting shut down in different positions every time. They got an eco set up here, I believe, yeah. So this is P250s, no utility, no armor. I think they'll just be trying to get a bomb down. It looks like they're going to a very fast inside setup. This could be interesting. Exist in such a weird position with the AWP, and he gets taken down. That's very questionable from him.
Yeah, that's not going to work out for him, and it is an eco round as well, so maybe not what they wanted. Forest getting a frag onto Flusher. olofmeister has picked up the AWP now. Let's see what role it has to play. He will fall. It will be picked up by Crims. Tag coming in on to Get Right, but the rest of his team will finish things off here. 2 players lost for NiP, but they will bring it to 10-13.
Yeah, just to point out again, like when you have an AWP inside, you probably want to utilize the sniper rifle aspect of it, like especially when you know they're going to be low money. That was a very interesting pick there from Fnatic. But here we go, JW back on the AWP. We've seen him trying to work main quite a lot. Hasn't really worked down for him. He's getting shut down by rifles most of the time. Hasn't really made much work of that so far. But here we go again, looking for the main pick. Hasn't really been given to him. I think this is a case of NiP knowing how Fnatic play and just not giving him what he wants, the opportunity to frag him.
Look at this angle from JW. He's looking for the cheeky picks, but he's going to strafe into the sights of Alu. As that happens, olofmeister will go towards Ivy and get the frag onto Forest, which will stretch out the NiP side a little bit. Fnatic have a lot of time to abuse this advantage now, 4 versus 4, but they're not the ones defending the sites. But who's going to find a frag through the smoke? It's going to be olofmeister. Variance is coming in, and Fnatic continue to find more frags. Just Get Right remaining versus 4 Fnatic players. So let's see what he opts to do if he's going to try and get some damage in. Bomb just going down now. He'll find 1 frag, and he's going to continue to see if he can get any more aggression in. So he's going to get a Molotov over towards the Pop Dog area. Just hold an angle, not see anyone there. Move on elsewhere. Again, it's a situation where he just wants to try and get some damage in. Found a bonus incendiary, but he may not find any more frags in this round. Might be time to save here for Get Right.
So olofmeister coming out of Ivy there. Like, really great awareness from him. Like, you saw Freiburg sneaking through the smoke. It looked like he had the advantage, but olofmeister coming out, taking 3 frags of his own, and he was just instrumental in that round. Like, they're just relying on individual big performances there.
Why has he got his knife out, jumping around like he's on a children's TV show? But you don't have guns on children's TV shows, Get Right. Keep your gun back out, please. Thank you very much. Or knives.
Well, there we go. Big round for Fnatic, relying on the big individual performances. olofmeister definitely one of those players that can deliver that. We can see Alu was he got the opening frag there and was unable to convert that to a victory. He's changing his position now, looking towards main. But Fnatic actually yet to do a set piece. They're just working on picks alone. They've got enough rounds to play with, and why not? They can make sure they can just grind away at the economy, work out what the CTs are doing, and see if they can work their pick game. And as you can see, Krim spotting a CT there on top of the train.
Oh, well, because this could be very important for us. Only finding 1, had great potential to do 2 there. But that will be a bit of information for his team. Bomb still safe here for Fnatic, and NiP moving away from the B bomb site. But with a minute on the clock, Fnatic still have their options open to them. They've got people over towards the Pop Dog, so they could still go either way. You can see because of Get Right playing Teletubbies in the end of the last round, he's limited to a FAMAS as opposed to the M4. So let's see what Fnatic can do here. Bomb still over towards team main at the moment. They haven't really moved much in the last 20 seconds. And NiP don't really have much information. You can see them moving all over the place. They have 3 people over towards Ivy at present as Fnatic move towards the B bomb site. This could be really bad. Get Right needs to spot, and he needs to hold for his team. With that position, he might get traded, but Exist running distraction will find Pronax. Get Right getting no frags at all. Flusher will find a frag. He'll go down to Exist, however. again, we did point him out as an important player in this match for NiP. Bomb starting to get planted, leaving only Crims to defend, but he will defend. 2 versus 2 now as the bomb is in position. Alu finding the frag onto Crims, and he will continue on the top of the trains, leaving it in a 1 versus 1. Olofmeister with a great spot there, and Alu needs to hit the shot. Olofmeister's baiting him a lot, jumping around. Who's going to find the frag? It indeed will be Olofmeister. Just too difficult a position for Alu to commit to 1 shot.
Almost impossible there, especially when Olofmeister had the ladder to play with. We know how kind of bugged out the ladders are right now, so he can just gain information, tease him with a little shot. Alu knows he can't even take it because he's at the top of the ladder, so that was almost impossible round for Alu to win there. Great awareness from Olofmeister. Is that pushed him on match point now? Yeah, I believe it has, and look at the money now. This might be, as long as Fnatic don't do anything completely stupid, this is almost done.
Yeah, so the coffers at the NiP Gaming House have finally run out. Not enough chocolate bars to get the buy-in here, and Alu's going to get a nice frag. He could potentially, it's a bit of chocolate for him, and the nade coming down the ladder puts it in a safe position for him to pick up. That's a stroke of luck for Alu, but can he make it work? He's going to rotate his position over towards the B bomb site, where we have Get Right coming in, playing close. Forest gets another frag, so NiP not out of this just yet. Olofmeister's going to push down Ivy and find himself a frag onto friberg. He can potentially flank these CTs. Now they need to be really scared on the A sites. Bomb still down. Outside team main in a very safe place. Minute on the clock here for Fnatic to try and recover and think of a plan of action.
Yeah, it was really questionable for JW to fly down Pop Dog with that. He's got no player to back him up. It's a very isolated area. He's got an AWP, so he's got 1 shot to hit and got shut down, and that was essentially why they lost the round. Pronax had to react to that. He got taken down himself. And it's going to leave them in a very difficult situation. Time ticking away. They have got the bomb. Olofmeister has it in hand.
Interestingly, Olofmeister walked all the way down from Ivy. After pushing Ivy, getting a frag, he walked all the way back around, leaving doubts in the mind of NiP. They had to spend a player in an area just clearing everything out, but he could still be lurking in Ivy for all they know, as we have the push now onto the A site from Fnatic. All but one of the NiP players are here, but Flush has found himself Get Right and Forest very quickly indeed. Exist coming in with the Deagle's going to manage to get himself an AK. Exist and Alu to finish off. Just down to Ali versus Flusher now. The bomb plant wasn't successful. 7 seconds left, and Alu's going to make a run for it. Flusher can do nothing in this situation.
Crazy round. Like, you almost know the CT's going to have no money in that situation. The fact you send your AWPer down with no man behind him was, for me, like a really silly play. All they needed to do that round was play it very slow, work out what the CTs are doing, what the money situation is, just hold the AWP in main. But here we go now. This is where it gets interesting. You see Fnatic have got an AK in hand, but the rest of the team don't have much to play with.
This is really weird, actually, because NiP, they had crap money anyway. They stole an AWP, but only survived with 1 player. Fnatic got wiped out, didn't get a plant, their money's crap as well. So this could go either way. The only thing Fnatic have going for them is the lack, NiP is the lack of armor on the Fnatic players. JW has an AK, see if anything can be done, and they're gonna double peek and punish the peek of friberg. NiP will need to be careful with their following steps, but again, this is a very tricky map, which may play to the advantage of Fnatic. Moving over towards the B bomb site, which Get Right's playing close with an ump.
This could go either way. Really, really crazy stuff right now. All the team coming towards inside. Get Right, the UMP, not known for his big spray down ability, especially against 4 players coming towards him, but they haven't got armor, so if he can manage to land a few shots, should be able to take them down, but they look like they're opting to go down the lower ramp now.
Yeah, and if he holds this passively, he could stop bomb plants coming in.
This could work out really well for him, actually.
Great positioning. He'll hear the nades, he'll make the call, but there's not much movement from his team just yet. Indeed, he's holding the passive angle to stop the bomb plants, and he's just got to wait for his team to rotate now. As he gets himself 2 frags, going for the reload, spots both players down on the site, and there comes the rotation from the remaining NiP players. 2-man spray down for Forest, got the garden hose out, and keeps his team in the match.
Yeah, like that couldn't have worked out any better for him. The fact they opted to go down lower ramp instead of facing him at upper put him in the perfect position. They didn't have any idea he was up there, and the UMP turned out to be the perfect gun there. It's got amazing damage against non-armor players. You see that, just a quick mop up, bomb goes down, and it just leaves him in a horrible situation here, and all he needs to do is stay alive. He played that perfectly, and a nice little clean up from Forest at the end there. NiP still fighting. They're still in this, and it's going to be a buy from Fnatic, 5 rifles. Quite a lot of utility to play with, but we can see they're going to be working the picks again, and a more aggressive play from NiP. I like this, changing it up.
Oh, that is huge if he can find a second frag, but he can't. He's not going to overextend. friberg stuck in the corner now. Might need support from a player for the time being if Fnatic realize where he is, holding an angle with the spray, expecting maybe friberg to be there, trying to make an escape behind the smoke, but he will escape with minimal damage done. 1-man advantage for NiP, but how long will it last? Again, the bomb is in control of Fnatic for now, over towards the Pop Dog area, has options available to it. You can still see JW lurking towards Ivy, or NiP move around, just try and find out exactly what Fnatic are up to. Just under a minute on the clock here for the #1 team in the world to do something. This is a nice pop flash. You right-click the pop flash and it lands. There's a little box which pops out next to the ladder. It lands there, giving you minimal time to react. JW finding a frag on to exist as there are 35 seconds left on the clock for Fnatic to push a site. Seems they're going to commit to the A site here. We've got a player on the bomb train. That's Freiberg. Gets traded by Pronax down to 3 versus 3, but it is the onus on Fnatic as they're the ones who need to plant the bomb. 23 seconds left now as the numbers go down. Bomb gets planted while only one gun is trying to hold things down. So 3 versus 2 retake here. Pronax heavily tagged. NiP just crawling around the smoke again. They can make no mistakes in this retake, but the clock is ticking. All 3 players have a kit. Alu's not going to get the frag onto Flusher. They've spotted one player, and I think the diffuser's being committed to. Flusher running in, and he's not going to find the frag in time. NiP defuse the bomb with Pronax still alive.
Yeah, questionable post-plant positions there. I know they're on the back foot, but the fact that positioning didn't even allow them to see the bomb. You saw the panic there, jumping down. And James, I'm going to call this one's going to overtime. It's going the distance. NiP seem like they're playing really strong now, getting the opening frags. They're changing the gameplay up almost every single round. We saw that push in Ivy last time. Worked really well for them. That's what I'm talking about. Getting that first frag and locking down Fnatic's explosive game style. And this is going to be this is the one where it could define the overtime. They have 4 sport here, 1 AK on Olaf Meister. The rest of the guys have CZs. We have seen him win these rounds. But as long as Get Right, looks like he's going to have a mountain to climb here. He just needs to get one and fall back. He just needs to get the information, work out what's going on, and play off that.
They've bought down to $2,000 apiece, and they've lost 3 rounds in a row. If they lose this one, then their loss bonus will only continue, so they'll be able to buy regardless. And with these guns, they can potentially get some economical damage in. They're piling around the B bomb sites. But will they find any frags? There are only counter flashes and 1 HE left on the NiP side. 3 kits on the players. And here's a suggestion of what might be happening. Get Right going for a flash. It's nicely done. He's going to push in, but he's running out of bullets. There's the bomb. That's going to be the rotation for his team. Coming out with a 5-7, and all the Fnatic players are dropping with no frags onto NiP just yet. Get Right manages to get back onto the site. He'll just stick with his team, reload his gun. There is a flank in play, and it's, of course, Olaf Meister. People running around the corner with their nades in their hands, and Olaf Meister will find 2 frags. All of a sudden, this becomes a potentially 1 round for Fnatic. They get the bomb down as well, just down to Olaf Meister to clutch. He finds his 3rd frag, and he's going to get annihilated by Get Right.
Yeah, kind of sloppy towards the end by NiP, running through with their knives out, getting taken down by Olaf Meister, giving them the bomb. Like we said before, they bought down to 2K, and they're going to have a really good buy now. Just a note on Get Right there, I loved what he did in that inside bomb site. It was such a sick play by him, reading what Fnatic were doing perfectly, doing a little pop flash, running up the lower ramp, dropping the bomb, getting amazing information. And look at this round here, you can see both players just running around, having no idea what's going on. Nice little double spray down, getting the bomb down. And here we go then, the 30th round. Let's go.
This has surely got to be Olaf Meister's favorite map. He has 38 kills. This is absurd.
Yeah, that is quite a rare scene, seeing 38 frags on any sort of player, but yeah, amazing stuff from him.
Well, 15-14, last chance saloon for Fnatic to take this in normal time. Pronax taking some damage. I think that might have been a nade through the window, not entirely sure. Get Right coming in aggressive again. He's going to be flashing. This time he's not going to have the advantage. Olaf Meister getting his 39th kill of the match. Could this be the one that gives Fnatic the opportunity to take this in normal time? More frags coming in. JW taking down Exist. Alu falling to the flames. 2 versus 5 with Freiberg on 1 HP. This is surely over here.
It's over. Oh man, you hate to see it happen. Get Right was playing so well on that inside bomb site. Unfortunately, he got a little bit too aggressive at the end there. Got the first frag, but just a note, Olaf Meister 39 frags, unbelievable. I've always tipped him to be the best player in the world, and he's just proving why he is that right now. So powerful. I'd say the majority of the T rounds they actually got was just down to him just going absolutely sick. They didn't really do much instead of strategic set pieces or even getting working together. It was just him getting 3 or 4 frags around.
Yeah, but what's insane is he got 39 frags at least, and they won 16-14.
Got to question what's going on with the rest of the guys.
So, you know, a very nice showing there by NiP. A good recovery there on the CT side, which obviously will be favoured at the moment. We are going to go to a quick break as the players have a break and set up for match 2, and then we'll be back with a bit of post-match and pre-match for the second map of this best of 3.